The Left Democratic Front government in Kerala is facing growing internal discord over its decision to sign the centre's PM-SHRI scheme. A meeting between Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan and CPI State Secretary Binoy Viswam failed to break the deadlock. Sources say CPI ministers may skip the next cabinet meeting as a mark of protest. The CPI, the second largest partner in the ruling front, believes signing the PM-SHRI MOU contradicts the LDF's long-held stand against the National Education Policy or NEP. The CPIM, however, defends the move, saying the decision was taken out of compulsion, as central funds under the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan had been withheld, risking salaries of teachers and staff. CPIM MP A.A. Rahim said the government acted to avoid a financial crisis and ensured that no ideological compromise would be allowed. The CPI meanwhile accused its ally of acting unilaterally without consultation, a charge that CPIM has denied. They said that there is nothing to worry. Things, like I said, Pinarayi said, it's not a compromise at all. It's more of a compulsion. And for more on this story, let me now go across to the experts, George Kaliavail, who is editor, National Affairs, Deepika Daily newspaper, and also M. Rajendran, senior journalist. A very, very warm welcome to both of you. George, good to see you. Rajendran, good to see you. Good evening, both. George, how do you see this? You know, CPI and CPIM fighting, because at the middle of it, Pinarayi says it is not a compromise, it is a compulsion. What to do? 2 years it's been, they have withheld the funds, much like what they've done in Tamil Nadu. CPI says, no, it's a sellout. Why did you sign on the MOU? George, we are hurtling towards elections in 2026. How do you view this entire thing?
As you said, LDF in Kerala is in deep trouble.
Yes.
Because, CPI will be boycotting the cabinet meeting tomorrow.
Right.
All the four ministers, this K. Rajan, P. Prasad, G. Anil, and J. Chinjurani. There are 4 CPI ministers in the Kerala cabinet. All of them announced that they will be, or unofficially they announced that they will not be attending tomorrow's cabinet meeting. If that would have ended there, issue would have been, sorted out. But I think the thinking in the CPI, which the CPI State Council will be meeting on November 4th, and they will be, most probably, they will be deciding to pull out from the cabinet. If that happens, then, the Panchayat elections are going to happen soon. The assembly elections is coming next year. And it will not be easy for LDF. And it would have been a very, very positive way for LDF, because there were big infighting in Congress and the UDF. It could have been positive for LDF in some way. But now this issue is very difficult to tackle, either because CPI is very adamant that, you have to withdraw from the PM-SHRI project, or you have to withdraw from the PM-SHRI. And, but CM and Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan and Education Minister are very almost adamant that, there is no other option. CPM is of
yes, absolutely. Rajendran, I mean, look at it this way, already the government is facing a lot of problems. You have Guruvayur, we have Sabarimala. Then on top of that, this has also come. And here the CPI, much like what George was saying, I was listening to D. Raja the other day, yesterday was it? He said, we are not going to give in. This is a sellout to the national education policy. What happens to our sovereignty? There was no compulsion. Whereas you and I know Kerala's finances have faced problems. This is a catch-22, Rajendran. How do you look at it?
No, so that this is more of an ideological,
yes, of course,
position which they are trying to do. And just before I go into it, for a second, let me take you to my personal experience in JNU, where you could see SFI and AASF, in a joint position running the JNSU, and yet differing on various issues where they wouldn't attend the GBMs, they wouldn't. And the same thing gets played here in the state level. Now, what is the biggest problem, Sudha, which the people of Kerala need to understand is that does this signing of MOU leads to surrender of ideology, or does it lead to surrender of your policy announcements which you have made in the manifestos? And elections are coming. We all know that this is how they are going to play the ball. It's not going to be that they will present a very easy way for the
What you're
CPM.
saying, I feel that it's kind of juvenile. This is not students' politics. Let them rise above this and more practical. I mean,
Correct.
right. You just snatched something which I wanted to say. Look at the position of left parties in this country. We all went, in college, everyone was a communist, but then we know where it's gone. George, I want to come to you and ask you, Pinarayi has said very clearly what Rajendran said. It's not a sellout. It's more of an ideological fight. Pinarayi is very clearly said, listen, we also did PM Usha. Did we compromise? We did not. So please have faith in me. Somewhere the CPI feels, they have lost faith in Pinarayi Vijayan's leadership. I feel when he's saying, because you see, who is a better communist? There is nothing called a better communist. You are either a communist or you are not. Number two is, the thing is that it is like CPI is trying to, assert themselves by saying, we are going more by the book, you are a sellout. George, what do you think?
So both CPI and CPM have consistently opposed the union government's national education policy and the PM3 scheme, alleging that they form part of the RSS broader agenda to influence the India's education system, or at least the younger generation. But, that is why Education Minister Shivan Kuti defends the decision, saying that the MOU was signed solely to secure central education funds. He assured that the Kerala's school curriculum would remain unchanged despite the agreement. How can it be possible? I'm not sure. But the thing is that, CPI's objection of the state government signing the memorandum of understanding with the center on this PM SHRI without consulting the cabinet is something serious. No, it's a policy decision. It could have been done in a better way, because Pinarayi Vijayan is more a practical chief minister who has done, he's been the chair for almost 10 years now. And he has proven that he can deliver. And such a chief minister would have been done this in a better way. But I think when the LDF meeting, it will take place soon, and the other constituents of the LDF, especially the third one, the Kerala Congress M, led by Jose K. Mani, he has already supported the Chief Minister and CPM on this, because he says there is no other way. We have to get fund from the central government,
George,
not just on PM3.
Do you think LDF is facing a crisis? Quickly tell me, then I go to Rajendran.
Right now, there is a crisis. Definitely, there is a crisis. After November 4th, it will be more clear.
Yeah. So, Rajendran, I want to come to you. Do you think, like George says, definitely there is a crisis, even I see it as a crisis, and of course, if they miss the cabinet and if something happens in the interim night, then of course, things will be different. But Rajendran, the thing is, like what George said, it's about practicality. He says, I'm not going to sell out. Now, look at it this way. He has the albatross of Sabarimala and Guruvayur around his neck. Do you think Pinarayi Vijayan can afford to ideologically sell himself by saying, okay, PM SHRI I did because I have to pay salaries to the teachers and to the staff of government schools. It is all pending. 2 years I have not been able to. But if he also does a sellout, the game is over for this man. Don't you think he will not take such a risk?
Absolutely, absolutely. But, it's a calculated risk he's taking, because he is hoping that by giving salaries, he will be able to win over the population. Because see, it's not one person's salary; it's a family which is going to benefit out of it. So it's a calculated risk, Sudha, which he has to take. And George is right. He's a mature politician, The only mistake he did was this policy decision should have been taken in a consensus, through a consensus. Yes, there was a difficulty in bringing, but one could have brought. He has done it earlier in many cases. In such catch-22 situations, he has done it. So one fails to understand actually, what led him to take a decision like this.
All right, but but the thing is that it was a unilateral decision. If you and I are allies, you have no business taking a unilateral decision, Rajendran. It
Correct.
goes against the grain of us being allies.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. This should not have happened. Not even informing. It's not only disrespecting your allies, but also sending a kind of a wrong message to the people that, I'm moving towards a situation where I will take a decision or my party will take a decision irrespective of my allies.
Josh, tell me something. Look at the catch-22 for Pinarayi. PM SHRI, money to pay salaries because he ain't doing very well when it comes to financial management. On the other hand, CPI, they are saying, Binoy Viswam has said, no way will I give in. And also Pinarayi's own, he's a veteran, he's a veteran comrade. Now tell me something, don't you think Kerala, the Kerala that we see today, will be more beneficial if the teachers get money in their hands?
Absolutely. See, money is the critical part. I'm telling
George.
you. And Sudha, let me assure you. I mean, having covered the policy implementation, execution at the ground level, I can assure you, it will, even if it is accepted, it will take more than a year plus to implement it or execute it. And by that time,
I have 20 seconds. Sorry, Rajendran, that was a question for George. George, 20 seconds I have.
Sorry.
Do you think that what should Pinarayi choose? PM SHRI?
I think this will be sorted out because there are no other favor CPI and CPM and other constitution because the assembly panchayat elections are next. It will be announced soon in weeks, or it will happen soon. They have no other option to other than to be united. And what happened? CPI has withdrawn from their stand when last elections. When Kerala Congress M was invited to attend LDF. It was CPI opposed like anything, but finally they surrendered.
Let's leave it at that.